Hey guys, so did you catch on the news how the news people themselves became a laughingstock news story when it came to BTS SUGA and his scandalous scooter? By now, I think BTS SUGA has the world's most scandalous scooter. The world's most scandalous scooter, because now we all know about this freaking scooter. And today we're going to actually take a deep look into this scooter and all of the specs, the pictures, even some of the reviews. So let's get into it. So quickly on the media and their utter embarrassment. On Thursday, Korea local time, they got there early in the morning to the police station waiting for BTS SUGA to show up. Now, he never did. So that's the end of the story, but the juicy part is in the middle. So these media people all set up, and the police said that they're not going to do a photo line, which is basically like that embarrassing perp walk back and forth from the police, and that SUGA was not going to undergo that. But the media set themselves up in the same exact location for a photo line. Now, this embarrasses the police as well, and starts to question what sort of PR department they have, or whether the entire media is running on leaks. And we have seen previously in this story, in particular, the issue over the blood alcohol concentration level of supposedly being 0.227. That has not been officially confirmed by the police, but all the mainstream media articles are quoting it, and they say they don't attribute that number to a spokesperson from the police or a report from the police. All they say is they use the verb, it has become known. 알려졌습니다. 알렸습니다. 아니면 알려졌습니다. So they're saying that it's become known that that's the alcohol level that SUGA blew in the breathalyzer test, but that has not been confirmed. Now, the media, though, in general, does it get the sort of, oh, it's been discovered, or oh, these leaks? Do they get those right? And a lot of the times they actually do. So there is a bit of a system that the media trusts of leaking, but in this case, it's very much veered towards the leaks have been wrong, or the leaks have been misleading, or even the media themselves, regardless of the leaks, are just creating this whole sensationalism based off of erroneous facts and even footage. So were the media that stupid to go to the police on the morning of Thursday, so about like yesterday, depending on what time zone you're in? Were they that dumb to go? And I would say in general, probably not, because there's probably now a formalized, yeah, there definitely is, but a formalized leaker system. So not all of these news people would move like this if it were completely unreliable. Now, things could have changed at the last minute. It could have been a situation where it never was really confirmed to begin with, all the way to it's been confirmed, but there's been a change. And so you never know in this type of situation what that it would be, because if you're not following, if you live in a slightly corrupted system, if you're not following a set of trusted standard operating procedures that work to the benefit of society, or the benefit, so where basically the benefit is not accruing to the police themselves, then it would be more predictable. However, Once you live in a slightly corrupted society where the people in power can just change the rules whenever they want, then you get a system where they're following the loudest voice in the room. So either they're chasing after power to suck up to them to get rewards, or they're running away from power that might punish them for what they're doing. So in this case, it's like this war between like battle of public opinion and media companies and probably Big Hit and maybe even Chairman Bang or something like, or other players who are involved in this circus. If it really was to cover up the first lady, they might be backing off because they're getting a lot of pushback. So the presidential office's power gets a little bit less, and Big Hit's power might be getting, growing stronger in this case. But that's just today. It can change another day. So when you get a lot of these inconsistent reactions, a lot of times if you try to work in Korea, people are like, I don't understand what's going on. Well, why is things changing? And like for reasons that don't seem to be like the real reason. Yeah, it's probably because the people in the police station are trying to maximize the benefit to them or reduce the type of punishment to them based on the choices they're making, not for the public benefit and not for Suga's benefit, not for really the benefit of the law, but they'll definitely use all three if it helps them and pays for their college education for their kids. Anyhow, we're here to look at the most scandalous scooter in the world now. And, when we're looking at the reports for the police questioning, they said that in the media that they're going to look at whether Big Hit and Suga downplayed the incident by calling it a kickboard or saying that he only had one drink. But honey, let's just say this might have been overplayed by the police, and also the media, as we just mentioned, played itself. So no, Big Hit definitely confirmed later in the day, which was all sorts of good shade after letting them wait for so long. Be like, oh no, well, we never said Suga was going to show up on that day. I don't know where you got that idea, but yeah, we just want to confirm and make your lives easier. He ain't coming. So this scooter, reason why I want to put this on display and blast, because many of you mentioned the exact model, because when we looked at it through the grainy CCTV footage, it looked like a kickboard with a seat. And we have, if we can trust the Korean media's reports about the exact model, I got the exact model and we're going to go through it. It's not available anymore for sale unless you really try to find some vendor who still has it, because it's from 2019. And of course, the reason why we're really focused and fixated on the type of vehicle is that it starts to change the punishments that Suga could be facing. The way that he has been portrayed in the media is as if he was driving a Harley Davidson or like some 18-wheel truck and barreling through with like a .227 alcohol percentage and threatening everybody. When no, we're gonna look at this little scooter, which is a foldable scooter, and see whether or not you think that this whole characterization of Suga has been blown out of proportion for other nefarious purposes. Now, two key things with the Korean law that I want to keep you in mind is the weight of the vehicle and the speed of the vehicle determines whether it is just like a personal mobility device, which would be electric kickboard and like a bicycle, maybe even rollerblades or something like that, and whether it's an actual vehicle, motorcycle and above, or scooter and above. And the key figures are, it's that it has a maximum weight of 30 kilograms to be just a personal mobility device. If it's over 30 kilograms, and that puts it into vehicle territory. If also there's a maximum speed of 25 kilometers per hour. So 30 kilometers per hour essentially is what's listed on the SUGA scooter. That's about 18.6 miles per hour. 18.6 miles per hour. 25 kilometers per hour, which is the limit, is 15 miles per hour. 15 miles per hour. So think about that. Very, very slow. Although, yes, is it dangerous? But yes, you are looking at vehicles that really can't operate on the streets of Seoul at that speed. And that is the top speed. But I just want you to keep that in mind while we're going through the specs. How close it was, how close Suga's was. If basically his scooter had been listed at 25 kilometers per hour for maximum speed instead of 30 kilometers, we wouldn't even be here. Okay, let me just give you the ending so that you can enjoy, chewing on the meal. All right, so this scooter is called the XQ1. It was sold in 2019, and it's called the Harley Man Mini. So obviously, I guess it's trying to get some inspiration from a Harley, but it's mini. So maybe that name kind of freaked people out and been like, oh my God, it's like a Harley Davidson. What's he doing out there? It is a foldable electric scooter with front and rear shocks. The price was about $500 to $1,000. The new model is about $750, the same price range. And notice how the picture says it's a smart mobility device. So this is from the manufacturer. The manufacturer is categorizing it as smart mobility, and the manufacturer themselves was loosey-goosey with their own terms of whether it's a scooter or whether it's a electronic kickboard. If you look at the marketing, it says electric scooter. And, some of those scooters that you see the disabled people or old people in the shopping inside the grocery store, people would call that a scooter too, wouldn't you? Anyhow, so they call it a scooter, but if you look at the website, on the manufacturer's website, the newest model is listed under electric kickboards, not electric scooters. If you go to electric scooters, then you see like, ooh, dang, these start to look like little mini motorcycles that you can actually, vroom vroom on the streets, with like a traffic sign. But these ones, the electric kickboards, are supposed to use on the sidewalks and not go out into regular traffic because you would get decimated. It looks like Suga did get the promotional free basket because we saw the footage and it looked like there was a cute little basket attached, but that was only promotion. Not all of them had the basket, and it was like for the first, however many hundreds of people or thousands of people. So he got the basket. And there's rear and front shock absorbers for your comfort. Now, people might spin this and be like, oh my God, shock absorbers, that must mean like it's like some big car because, my car has shock absorbers. Look, this is for grandma's comfort, okay? It says to reduce fatigue on uneven surfaces. Uneven surfaces, unless you live in a third world country or sometimes in some parts of Seoul, like the regular roads is not going to be uneven. It's going to be paved and smooth. The uneven surfaces that are a little bouncy are the uneven sidewalks, the pavements, going up and down curbs, not even all the time even having the little gradation in between curbs. So it's not the flat road. That's why you want to have a little bit more shock absorbers and brag about it. When's the last time your car bragged about its shock absorbers? It's just standard. But for this kind of product, it's kind of a luxury. All right, so now we get to this next picture that shows that it's a foldable electric scooter. When's the last time you were able to fold up your car or fold up your motorcycle? 30 kilometer max speed. Now, that's the problem here for Suga, because remember the max speed was 25 kilometers to be considered a personal mobility device, which reduces the drama around like, oh my God, he had a DUI while operating an actual vehicle. All right, now this says the max speed. When's the last time you got the maximum out of the marketing messages of specs, especially of like technology products? Huh? Really? Like, I don't even think Apple, like, if you test out the specs, you don't always get the maximum level. Like, even the hard drive, like the capacity, if they said that like your phone has like 512 gigabyte capacity and you open it up for the first time, even counting the operating system, there's always some mystery gigabytes missing. So I bet there's some mystery kilometers missing, and that this foldable electric scooter can't actually get up to a top speed of 30 kilometers. So if I were Suga's lawyer, I would take this scooter and send it into some lab and say like, look, the maximum speed that this actually can get can't even get up to 30 kilometers. Maybe it'll range from 25 to 30. Maybe it'll go over 25, but you never know. This is the mini model, mini as in little, tiny, 800 watt motor. So, you know, they need to get a real world test. If you're concerned about you want to see the specification list, here it goes. And what did I say? There's the fine print. It says results may vary in real world conditions. It's 0 to 30 kilometers per hour. It has 4 to 8 hours of battery life. There's an 800 watt motor, and it's 16 to 25 kilograms. So in terms of the weight, it seems like he's pretty safe there. 30 kilograms and over is when it goes into the next round, but it's the thing with the speed. So it seems like he's kind of in a he's in this kind of like a gray zone, because I don't think all of it is going to count. Like, both conditions I don't think are going to count. Especially, he got to take off that free basket and then weigh it. You know, that free basket is creating a lot of trouble here. Then this photo shows why you need this stylish scooter. Is it to replace an 18-wheel truck? No. Is it to replace like an SUV? No. Or even a passenger car? No. It says safe, easy to use, disc brakes, LED lights, 800 watt motor, 10 amp battery, fire resistant, and a slim profile. So when do they think that you should use this? When you can't grab a cab and you have to wait in the hot sun or the cold. Maybe this was their summer marketing. When public transportation is too crowded, when traffic is just too congested for a short distance, just like what he was doing, basically going from one part of the neighborhood to another and not wanting to walk and not being able to get a cab because the distance is too small. Remember, it was only 500 meters, not to replace your car. Now take a look at this next one. It says it's a foldable design. Why? Why would you want a foldable design? Because, if some of these reports out there, the latest reports that were smearing Suga was saying like, oh, he should have gotten insurance, like vehicle insurance on this and a license plate. Why didn't he have a license plate on his vehicle? Oh my God, honey. You can't get a license plate for something like this. Watch. To take into the elevator. To put in the trunk of your car. The car has the license and the insurance. Put it in storage or even your bathroom. Would you ever put a motorcycle or something that has the ability and requirement by the government to have a license and insurance in your bathroom? In your bathroom. They're saying like, this is so compact because, in Seoul, gotta live really kind of compact. There's no way. They would laugh you out of, maybe they would take your money at the insurance company, but they would sort of laugh you out of the room and be like, no, you don't get insurance on this. 800 watt motor, good for hills, off-road, on dirt. So obviously, this is more of like in the lines of a bicycle. Easy recharging, waterproof, only takes 0.48 kilowatts of electricity for a full charge. Okay, yeah, try putting 0.48 kilowatts of electricity in your Tesla and see how many miles that gets you. Spend just a few dollars a year on energy. Removable battery so that you can recharge at your desk at work. Oh, you don't even have to pay for it. You can get your company to pay for it. You pop out the battery, take it to your desk, and just charge it at work. What electric vehicle can you charge at your cubicle? Thick and plush artificial leather seat. Now, this leather seat don't look anything, okay, artificial leather seat. It don't even look artificially leather, and it does not look thick and plush. This is literally like a cheap bicycle. It says, say goodbye to traffic jams, and it's comfortable for your prostate. Well, you can look at the design. Lightweight, carry it around wherever you need to move it. 25 kilograms, carry it up the stairs. Try carrying your motorcycle up the stairs, okay, when the elevator is full. Because this thing fits in the elevator. If the elevator is full, you can just carry it up the stairs. Why? Because you'd be crazy to park it in your underground parking garage. You would take it home. Anti-slip foot pad. Electronic disc brakes. 10-inch tubeless tires. Remember what I told you about the tires? This is like one step to plastic. If not, if it's like kind of like this plasticky rubber. For safety and feel. So see, this is marketing above its weight class. It's trying to say like, this little thing, this little power wheel, might have some like luxury features that remind you of the real thing, but it ain't. And it is not the real thing, It's like the imitation crab talking about how crabalicious it is, but everybody knows it's just imitation crab. And somebody's like, that's pretty good. That tastes pretty similar. But it's not. So let's not try to make the imitation crab from the convenience store into a king crab situation like all the media and the haters are doing. Key box for preventing it from being stolen. LED display. Folding system with the handlebars. Try folding your handlebars on your Harley Davidson. Bright LED lights for visibility and suspensions for comfort. Again, for grandma because she can't see, and then also she wants some comfort on all of the sidewalks and if there's unexpected things at the grocery store. Product parameters. 108 centimeters tall, that's 42 inches. 110 centimeters long, that's 43 inches. Very small. Handlebars are 58 centimeters, so that's 22 inches. And the seat height goes from 68 to 84 centimeters, which is 26 to 33 inches. Okay? It's not taller than a toddler. Oh, good Lord. And this is the kicker. It had pretty good reviews, and one even showed how convenient it was because it parked it in front of its front door in its high-rise apartment complex. This is how small it is. That little like part of the wall that juts out, it's like this, not even that size. The kickstand is barely bigger than the kickstand for the door. So do you think this device needs a license plate and an insurance policy? I think what Suga and his team should be doing right now is really questioning whether this device has been properly placed in the proper category and push back on that. Even if they lose that fight about, because of this one technical specification, this is gonna be like classified the same as a motorcycle. Just doing that and pushing that out is going to show the stark difference between an actual motorcycle device that he was supposed to be riding on the streets versus the actual device he used, which you're supposed to use on the sidewalk instead of walking. And going through that, and then the next step in that type of recontrolling the debate is that the question comes up: did you, the police, and the media, whether independently or through collusion, hype up this situation for what? To character defame Suga, Big Hit, Hybe, using this for your own benefit, because we already have documented evidence that the media themselves misrepresented the CCTV footage, and the police and media themselves got into some very embarrassing and quite legally questionable situation of saying that Suga is going to show up for questioning, but that was not the case at all. So what kind of circus are you running over there? That would be another question. And whether that is tied to some sort of laws or some sort of statutes that have been violated that Big Hit can go after, because then that starts to change the narrative. The reason why this 25 kilometers and 30 kilometers might sound big is that actually that is a speed limit around schools in Korea. Instead of fixing the roads and instead of taking care of violators who park temporarily on the streets and clog it so that people are forced to then make traffic law violations to get around people, instead of fixing the streets and the system, they keep lowering the speed limit, thinking that that's going to solve the issue. When really, when you look at the state of Korean streets, they are designed to create accidents. So that's why they keep lowering the speed limit. So if you're wondering like, whoa, how can 18 kilometers an hour be a speed limit? That is, I mean, you could probably like run faster than that. It's because there are situations where the roads are so bad that the solution that the bureaucrats had come up with is just, well, why don't we just lower the speed limit instead of doing the actual hard work of repainting? Sometimes it's just repainting the streets where it makes more sense, because I've seen that happen, especially after I've been complaining about, like, you know, when people are saying like, oh, but it's going to cost too much to change the roads, or there's not enough space to change the roads. I was like, just start with repainting the lines so that they make sense and don't create accidents. And I've seen that happen in Seoul, like, you know, continuously getting better. So some people show up and do their jobs. But if you're wondering like, why is this a big deal? And why does it feel like a big deal? Because I think if you're especially in the United States, you might be like, well, that doesn't make sense. 15, whether it's 15 miles or 18 miles, that's so slow. But the number 25 kilometers, 30 kilometers, it's on signs and stuff. So once you start seeing like, oh, the device can go up to the limit, the speed limit, then people start thinking it's, oh my gosh, it's a motorcycle, it's a Harley Davidson. And then as the conversation continues with this media smear campaign against BTS SUGA, this Harley Davidson has now turned into like a motorhome, a van, some sort of bulldozer, or like some 18-wheel trucker. No, it is foldable that you can carry up the stairs or take with you in the elevator of your apartment complex and park it in your hallway. Maybe you might get in trouble, like, you know, if people don't like bicycles, they definitely won't like this tiny little scooter, but it's definitely one of those types of devices and the size where, you know, like if you've lived in Korea and you see like your neighbor, their kids just park their bicycles next to their front door, you're not going to complain. At least I didn't. Some other people might, but I didn't complain. And it's much safer up there next to their front door than, you know, downstairs, because there are bike thieves there too. So what do you guys think? Do you think that this type of device warranted this whole big hoopla against BTS SUGA? And yeah, do you think he owns the world's most scandalous scooter now? Because I have never seen this much controversy over this little device and how he used it. You saw how he was just weaving through people walking, going at a snail's pace. All right, guys, put your comments below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.